talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They don't know basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Motherfucking Lie with Sam and Stav. And
we changed the name for this week?
We changed the name, baby. I'm feeling fucking good. You know what? I'm in the ghillie suit, but I'm in it like it's unzipped. I got it half off. My tits are out. And do I have a gun up to Mike Budenholzer's head? Yes, but I fire and it says bang like the Joker. You know, and I say Mike, and then I slap him on the face really cute, and I'm like, Mike, you still play Jeff Teague too many minutes, but I'll let it slide because of the fucking win.
Well, that ghillie suit is in Milwaukee colors, brother, because you did your part.
I did my
You're
part.
a big part of this victory today. They were down 2-0. This was a must-win game.
An incredible game. And let's just start with the soon-to-be Finals MVP.
Take it a game at a time.
Let's go all the fucking way, baby. Let's hit the Nas, all right? I'm enjoying it. If there's one thing I've learned from the way you enjoyed this Knicks season, Sam, is that I will never let logic or reality get in the way of enjoying a big win, okay? There's no reason to stop. There's no reason to sit and think about the obstacles in my way going forward. No. What I'm thinking about tonight is the fucking Hard Dick Savage, 2-time MVP, first player since LeBron to have 2 back-to-back 40-point games. The only players to do it in the finals are him and Shaq recently. Shaq, LeBron, and Giannis. I mean, that's
good company.
That's good motherfucking company you want to be in. I mean, he was
you mentioned the Knicks, though.
You
can't mention the Knicks without mentioning the incredible off-the-bench energy of Bobby Portis.
Crazy Eyes motherfucking Bobby Portis,
who cut his teeth in New York City. I mean, that's what we do. We breed tough athletes. And Bobby Portis showing that orange and blue pride. He had some big dunks, man.
He cut his teeth after smashing Mirotich's jaw. You sound like you're coming in underwater now, Sam. You good, bro?
Yeah. Sorry, the mic cut out for a second.
And we're back after maybe a minute. Sam tried to dull my fucking momentum, but he's first by bringing up Bobby Portis' Knicks connection, and then second by unplugging his mic and not understanding how to throw the settings on. But we're back, baby. We're back, and our dicks are harder than ever.
Your dick is hard.
My dick is harder. My dick is harder than it's ever been. Boy, did it feel good to just
This was probably the best game of your life.
For Giannis, yeah, for sure. As a Giannis fan.
What's a better game? I mean, as a fan, what's a better game than this for you?
You know, that's a good point. That's actually a really good point because I've obviously enjoyed bigger game. Like, there's been bigger games that I've watched just as an NBA fan, but with, like, skin in the game, you're probably right. To see Giannis, and especially because Giannis, it just makes my fucking heart flutter, brother. The fucking the tzatziki running through my fucking veins was extra strength, extra garlicky, extra olive oil, extra salty, pungent right now. Because to see Giannis do this after he was so goddamn good in the last game, and they just fucking wasted that performance.
He was good in the first game, too. I mean, it's not his fault.
He was solid. He was solid, but he was also coming off a fucking weird hyperextension of the knee. For him to do that after his knee...
Do you think he feels okay right now?
Well, I was worried because in the first quarter, do you remember that, where he just he came out of the game kind of inexplicably?
I came in, I think, late second because I just landed in Los Angeles, so I'm not...
okay.
So I watched like the very beginning on the flight, and then we were in a taxi. So I didn't. I was like on my phone, but I was not fully
right. So yet. And I don't even know what happened because I actually was listening to the first like 6 minutes on the radio. I had a spot, and there's nothing worse, by the way, than the shit that you've scheduled before the finals because you never know the playoffs. And I didn't want to cancel, and I got fucking brutally. I have 2 spots coming Wednesday. I assumed the games were going to be Tuesday. That's why because I was like, oh, the travel day, and it's like it's
Finals, they'll hit it with a 3-day wait sometimes. It's weird.
But usually it's when it's on travel days, I thought. And now, even though the next game's at Milwaukee, it's an extra. You get an extra day off.
I
so
think
anyway,
they're milking the suspense and coverage.
yeah, and that's fine. I'm just gonna be pissed because it's like I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to watch a half of the game on my fucking phone, which sucks my dick. Or I might try and pause it. I have that. I just fucking pause it and I come home and I don't read Twitter at all and I just catch up as it goes. I might try that. But
so are you telling me not to text you on Wednesday?
Do not text me Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. It's a hard feat to pull off. So I have a 10 o'clock spot and it's a 9 o'clock start.
Cancel. Where is it? You got to cancel that spot, dude.
I canceled on these people before. I don't think I can do it. I think my best bet is to get there early, watch
if
the
the
first.
Knicks were in the finals, there's no fucking way.
Let me tell you something. First of all,
this better be a great show you're doing.
I just feel bad. I like the people, and I've canceled on them before. This is me paying the price for being a flaky little bitch. Let me tell you my plan. It's a 10 o'clock spot. I'm going to get there at 9. I'm going to watch the game. Hopefully it falls right around halftime. I do my spot in the cab, pause, watch the second half at home fully. I think it's doable. I think it's a doable proposition.
Are other people not gonna text you about this or what?
No. I won't check. I'll have some fucking discipline. I also like it because it forces you to stay off your phone. You have to be fully engaged with it, and you get to catch up because of commercials. So it's actually a pretty nice way to watch the game.
That's not
you just
bad.
Ran through it.
That's not bad.
I think I can finesse it just right, Sam. But
what was
see.
Your best game before this game? Best NBA game you've ever witnessed, TV, whatever.
Probably Iverson beating the Lakers. Because
okay,
I was such a big Lakers fan, Iverson fan, and I was like, I remember after that game, I was like, hell yeah, they're gonna win. It's like even though it was like that was his career accomplishment, but
taking one off a Lakers team that I think only lost that one game the whole.
That was
playoffs.
the only game they were 4-4. They were 4-4-5. Yep. But that was a huge one for me.
I don't know what mine is. Maybe the LJ 4-point play.
And it was cool. That game was cool too. Yeah, the LJ 4-point play is cool. But it's funny because when something like that happens in game 1 and you're also like, I'm just like a fucking dumbass kid. I'm like, Iverson's winning the finals. I told you.
I believed at that point. I was like, he was just so special that he could make you believe. Like he gave his teammates confidence. He had that thing about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though he never passed them the ball. It was literally like he was literally shooting like 30 shots a game. And their second scorer was like Aaron McKee or Mutombo or some shit. It was like, what are we really doing?
It
here?
was. That
is
is
Shaq and Kobe.
That is the funniest thing about Iverson's career is like he was my favorite player, and I still have so much fucking love for him. And you just look at the way he plays basketball, and it's like he's a one of one. And if anybody tried to play that way right now, I would be like, I'm not interested in one. Like. We just know too much about how basketball like that was analytically maybe the worst possible way to play. Like,
but they also had no offense. I mean, it really was kind of their only way. I mean, Eric Snow couldn't really score. He's a good defender.
No, but that's what I mean.
Tyrone Hill.
I'm not blaming him. He had to do everything, and to his credit, he played he would play fucking. I mean, he played so many fucking minutes. He didn't really sit on the bench. But I just mean
that's probably where the practice thing came from. He was like, 100%. What more do you fucking want from me,
100%. But anyway, we can talk. We can talk about past glories of our favorite players in the off season that's coming up. But for this game, I wanted again to just bring our mouths back to Giannis's cock and to truly, truly slobber
your
on
mouth.
it.
I'm
No. You're getting in there. This is like one of those pornos where it's like my friend's just gonna watch, and then slowly we seduce you into it. I'm sucking Giannis's dick, and you're getting harder and harder by the moment. You're in the back on a couch.
Right, well, you got. If I'll do it, but you got to be into some freaky shit with Julius next year.
Look, we'll figure. Well, listen, we'll do it. I'm
We'll
open
talk.
to it. I'm open to slobbering on Julius's knob for sure. Yeah. So you're in the back right now with your arms crossed while on the casting couch, while I'm on my knees sucking the guy's dick by the desk. And by the end of this, you're gonna be slobbering.
Here's why this ain't gonna happen. Game 4 is gonna be tighter because Booker ain't gonna play that badly again. And this was Drew's first good game of the finals.
Maybe of the fucking yeah. I mean, you're right. Not the playoffs, but honestly, actually, maybe because
No,
like,
he's had a couple big nights. That's not fair to say.
he's had a lot. He's had a couple very like in the Brooklyn series. He had he showed up in big moments, but his overall, dude. I saw this fucking stat that broke my heart. This is from StatMuse, where it was like Eric Bledsoe's playoff shooting splits with the Bucks. 41.1 from field goal, 41.1 field goal percentage, 25% from three, 73% free throw shooting. Drew Holiday's playoff shooting splits, literally the exact same field goal percentage.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying. Is like Drew is, I think, a better player, but when you look at the playoffs, I think the Bucks would be in the finals, really, no matter what, even if they kept Bledsoe.
Yeah, literally, and it's not just the shooting. You're right. Just to finish, make your point, but first, literally, you're right. I think you're correct about that, and I would have said no before seeing these stats but Bledsoe, it's not just the shooting percentages. Bledsoe had in his career with the Bucks 15.9 points, playoff points, 1.34 steals, 0.7 blocks. Holiday, 15.8 points. 1.31 steals, 0.4 blocks. That's crazy. You could argue
the one difference is you have to respect Holiday from 3-point range, and you didn't have to respect Bledsoe, and that does change the way the offense flows. You have to give Holiday that.
Well, I mean, you would think so, but what you saw the percentage I just read? His 3-point, 28.9.
I know,
you respect him more than Bledsoe, just.
But based on what he gets in the regular season, he's 39% from three. So and Bledsoe's not. So my point is, just because he's not shooting well in the playoffs doesn't mean you don't have to still kind of respect it.
You definitely have to guard him more. And players talk about that shit all the time, where it's like, it's almost reputation based. So it's like, the players are not checking the fucking percentages before every game. They just know how they feel, and you're right. They feel Holiday is a better shooter than Bledsoe.
Last two games against the Hawks, he played well. He had good games. He had
I guess that's true. You're right. I'm sorry. I guess the games without Giannis,
he had two bad games before that.
You're right. The games without
Giannis. First two
games
against the Hawks, he was excellent. First game, he was 33 and 10. I mean,
he did have that. Yeah,
he's had some big games.
I guess I forgot that one because we lost game one. But
Booker, it's funny how much Booker gets compared to Kobe, and you see it in the bad shit too. Like there was one play today where he's just like doing that Kobe like up fake under the rim and just gets like denied, and you're just like that's what Kobe would do. People forget that Kobe would force shit
for sure
to the point that people were like, you had someone.
And Devin
Crowder
Booker
played great. I mean, Crowder was hitting threes today.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say where it's like, Devin Booker's not gonna play that bad, but is Crowder gonna go 6 for 7? I mean, I guess Bridges did not. Bridges had a straight up bad game. Booker had a bad game. The Suns also I thought in the first half, I didn't think the Bucks did anything that great offensively. I just kind of thought the Suns missed some shots. I think in the second half it was a different story where they kind of like took advantage of everything. But I mean, and what were we saying when we previewed the series? The thing that would be huge for the Bucks, Ayton gets into fucking foul trouble. That was humongous because they had to go to a fucking zone because Frank Kaminsky was getting victimized so much.
And Saric is now out. And I thought Cam Johnson was going to be hurt too. I was like, man, they're going to be thin in a minute if these guys keep going. Because the loss of Saric is something. I mean, because they were already thin at the 5. And by the way, when did Saric become a 5? He was a small forward like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was drafted as a small forward. That's literally just shows you how much the NBA changes. Where he was like, he's a small forward who might be able to, who might not be quick enough to guard them or whatever, but now
in 2 years, Oladipo is going to be a 4.
Yeah. Which what's crazy is that like Phoenix thin right now, but it's like they used their first round pick this year on that guy on a center, Jalen Smith from Maryland, and it's like that goes to show you how different like whiffing on a pick like that is, because the Hawks got minutes out of their fucking rookie center. I mean, Okongwu, and sure that he was a better prospect than Smith, but still the fact that he's like has not seen any fucking minutes, and right now when they are completely fucked, he can't even like get
a big moment.
They'd rather put Frank the Tank in there, who was looking lost, bro.
Yeah,
he was. He's minus 12 for the game, and he played 13 minutes.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Jalen Smith, we'll see. I mean, he's got the Horace Grant vibes with the goggles.
Yeah, he's got the goggles.
I
mean, I'm not saying they should play him. I'm just saying like that could have. I mean, everyone kind of criticized them for taking a center, and then in theory, the time it would have come in handy to use your first round pick on a center would be in the finals when your star is in foul trouble, and they can't even get him on the floor then. Right. Not a huge point, just something I wanted to something that kind of occurred to me. But a lot of things did go right for the Bucks. I'm not going to lie here. We just kind of recounted a lot of them, mostly being Ayton. The only thing that went against them really was Crowder getting hot, and Cam Johnson had like Cam Johnson was kind of momentarily keeping the Suns in the game there in the third quarter. He had that crazy run.
They have so many streaky players on the Suns, so it's funny, even with like a 20-point lead, there are moments where I'm thinking it ain't over going to the fourth, because the Sun, I think the Bucks have it, but when you have a team that can just get hot like that, it's never over. What team can hit threes like Phoenix in a jiffy? Like, I don't know, Atlanta and maybe.
No, I think a lot of teams. That's the NBA. I mean, Brooklyn, Atlanta, even the fucking Celtics with
Brooklyn. Not this postseason though. Not with Joe Harris. I mean.
Yeah, I mean that's Joe Harris was fucking dog shit. But you'd think theoretically with a team with Durant and Joe Harris,
and Kyrie,
and
Harden,
and
they weren't healthy.
I mean that is the thing though. You're right. It generally leads are a lot less safe in the NBA, which I also think makes the game much more interesting.
Can shoot threes well too, so there's a few, but you know what I mean. Like
even, I mean the Clippers, the Jazz were a great 3-point shooting team this year.
True.
I mean I think it's a lot of the league, and what's crazy is Milwaukee has a great. This is more of the fucking Budenholzer stuff where they're good 3-point shooters during the regular season, and it makes you look at the team percentage and you think, wow, this team's going to do damage in the postseason, and then we get to the postseason, and then it's all about matchups. It's all about who can get their shot off, who can maybe create for themselves or whatever. And you take a look at the team, and it's like, how the fuck were they shooting that well in the regular season when it's like, and I know DiVincenzo not being there sort of hurts them, but it's like the only really fucking elite shooter is Middleton on that team, and everybody else.
Man, is he elite? I mean, he really has got the prettiest jump shot, man. Like
he's great.
There's a little clay in Middleton for sure.
And I mean, also obviously, what's his face? Fucking Bryn Forbes, who,
he's a good shooter.
Like,
Middleton didn't take that many shots today.
No, but they were on pace. They were pacing Giannis. Like the first half, he didn't go super crazy. I mean, I think he kind of picked it up again in the third quarter. And by the way, last third quarter of game 2, that motherfucker had a 20-point quarter. Insane. But
that was crazy.
Yeah, Drew really like picked up the pace, and I think one thing that we've seen with Drew throughout the playoffs is when there are lineups without a shot, a rim protector, he can really go off because he's bigger than the other point guards. He just is a bigger guy than most point guards, and he's a stronger guy, and he can fucking bully his guy and get to the rack. And I think it's not a coincidence that he had a good game this game when fucking Ayton was out with foul trouble. And by the way, I just want to say, shouts out to Scott Foster. Scott Foster, who was the head official here prior to the Suns beating the Clippers in a game that he officiated this offseason. Chris Paul had lost 11 straight games that Scott Foster was a part of. And by the way, that's not a team. That's Chris Paul.
You know what this is turning into right now? Do you ever see the movie The Fan with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes?
I actually have not seen that one. No.
It's one of the worst movies ever made. But I will say it's funny as shit. If you just want to watch a bad movie to laugh, I mean, he's obsessed with Bobby Rayburn, who Wesley Snipes plays on the San Francisco Giants.
Hell yeah.
And it's like shit where De Niro's you just see he's unhinged. He'll be at the game with his son.
Yeah.
And the bases are loaded. He's like, hit a grand slam. He's like, no, you're selfish. All we need is a sac fly. It's like a little kid. He's yelling at shit like that.
Yeah.
Eventually, he ends up murdering another guy on the team, played by Benicio del Toro, Juan Primo. He murders him so that Bobby Rayburn can get the shine. I could see you doing this if like Middleton starts taking over in this postseason, and you really want Giannis to get that Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you have a little bit of De Niro vibes in the Fan now.
Look,
like,
that's
he's a knife salesman. There's a lot like that. You're like,
Sam, it's not going to get there. It's not going to get there. Do I have the ghillie suit? Sure. In case of emergency, break glass on the ghillie suit. Sure. Absolutely. But we're not even going to. That's not going to be an issue here because Giannis. Listen, Giannis. Remember when people were talking about LeBron should get Finals MVP regardless of what happens during the first. They've said it a couple times, but specifically,
I mean, there was an argument that season to be made for sure.
The first Golden State championship.
When you see Iggy's numbers,
the one they gave
like,
to Iguodala,
this is absurd that he won.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I will not say officially that Steph Curry should have gotten that Finals MVP because it is one of the funniest things to bring up that he doesn't have a Finals MVP. But Iguodala should not have gotten it.
So you think it should have been Curry?
I didn't say that, did I, Sam? I said I would have voted for LeBron if I could have. But I think either way, when you take into consideration that this man, Giannis is coming in off a hurt knee, hyperextended, and you know he's going to keep putting up these 40 and 12s, 40 and 13s. I really believe, especially after, Chris Paul shit the bed again, another 4 turnover game, 6 turnovers last game, 4 turnovers this game, minus 13. I think Giannis should be the favorite either way. Whoever wins the series, I think the only sane thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and disagree
with you in this case because Paul was brilliant in the first 2 games.
He was not,
and he was okay today. You're incorrect.
He was brilliant in the first game, maybe.
Greek bias
while
here.
Giannis was hurt, he took advantage, like the no honor flip flopper that he is, like the fucking nerd that fucking takes advantage of the rule book that he is. Sure, but I just wanted to say. Giannis absolutely deserves it. Let me go back to my Scott Foster point, and I want to say I hope he refs the rest of these games because Chris Paul is now 1 for 11. Now I'm sorry, make that 1 for 12.
Is this not weird that he does have this beef with Scott Foster?
It's so funny how crooked the refs are in the fucking NBA. And Scott Foster, by the way, you know who Tim Donaghy, disgraced NBA official.
Yeah,
there's call records of him talking to on the phone the most is fucking Scott Foster. Scott Foster is in the fuck and the official defense is something like they would call each other to kill time. And it's like okay, they would call each other to kill time. But so anyway, Scott Foster. And what's funny is this is it's Chris Paul. It has followed him. From the Clippers to the Rockets to the fucking Oklahoma City Thunder, now to the Suns.
No, there were headlines like Chris Paul must overcome history in Game 3 with Scott Foster ref, and you're like, that's how you know the NBA is a little rigged.
Yeah.
when he can't catch a break with a fucking referee. It's like, come on.
And look, I'm a little pissed off because the NBA clearly they knew they had a Scott Foster card to play. And they were like, let's just make sure this is a 2-1 series. We don't want to go in 3-0. I think they should have had a little more faith in the Bucks. The Bucks would have won this one regardless. Devin Booker was looking like shit, but Kyle Bridges was looking like shit. I'm a little pissed off that they didn't save the Scott Foster card for Game 4 because now we'd be looking at a sure thing 2-2.
What if this goes to Game 7 and Scott Foster is the ref? I don't think
it's like pitchers where they where I hope the NBA treats him that way, where it's like, look, we're gonna start him on 3 days rest. He's too important.
They're treating him like Clayton Kershaw. No,
I believe it would maybe be the crew from Game 1, but I don't know exactly how.
It's like pro wrestling. Chris Paul's gonna have to like Shawn Michaels super kick him by accident, and then he's out, and some other ref has to make the call. Like that's his only chance.
Yeah, if I was Chris Paul, I'd be sending Jake from State Farm to have an accident, but right around Scott Foster.
It wasn't me. It was my brother who wears glasses. He's out there somewhere.
Yeah, it's like a good neighbor. State Farm is there, and they're like, "Oh, what do you need?" It's like, "Oh my God!" It's just like Chris has cut Scott Foster's brake cords, and is like, "I didn't think it would get this far. I thought he'd realize, and he just wouldn't drive to the arena, but he took it on the highway, and he flew out of the windshield." You got to fucking clean up the body for me, Jake from State Farm. And he's like, "What the fuck, CP? I'm just here to sell you insurance. I'm not burying anybody for you." And he's like, "You're a fucking accomplice. I'll tell him it was your idea." I would love that State Farm commercial. The murder of Scott Foster that goes wrong.
Chris Paul's son dunking the murder weapon too. Just dunking to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Slow-mo.
He's dunking the gun he used into like the Atlantic Ocean. They go to Atlantic City to get rid of the body. Anyway, a beautiful game though, and it was just
congrats, man. You deserve to feel good. It's been a rough couple games. I knew that your mood was depending on it. So
oh my God, this podcast would have been a fucking nightmare if the Bucks had lost.
3-0 would have been. It would have been
3-0 would have been brutal.
It wouldn't even have been a good episode. It would have just been you screaming and making threats and us getting demonetized somehow.
It would be. I would just be depressed, and then at the very end, I would make threats. Yeah. And then I would be looking up how quickly I could get to Milwaukee. I would be trying to figure out
you're screaming
home
to
address.
Adam Silver. Adam, your wife is so pretty, and he's like, "Who is that guy?" Would be a real shame if something happened. He's like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, I'm sending like I take magazines and I cut out the letters and I mail it to the NBA officials review booth in Secaucus, and I'm like, every call goes for the Bucks or else. And it's like, you don't want to see what happens. And I just send all the refs pictures of their grandchildren. And they're like, Where? What the hell? Is that my Jesse? Yeah, dude, that's what would have happened had it not gone our way. But
I honestly didn't want to see.
Well, no one wants. Here, the thing is, nobody. This is what everybody wants because we want a good series, and it's the old adage of like, fucking series doesn't start until somebody loses at home, right?
And I don't want to see Giannis get swept.
And that's the beauty of it, man, is that these finals, one way or another, are affirming how much I fucking love Giannis and what a fucking.
He's a big game player, undeniably.
Like, yeah, he is not hiding from the moment. And people talk about him sometimes like he's fucking Ben Simmons. Like just because he can't shoot.
No one talks about him like he's Ben Simmons. Come on.
Okay, the higher version of Ben Simmons, whatever. But it's like people really do talk about it where it's like, oh, why isn't he guarding the fucking, the other team's superstar and he can't shoot and whatever. And it's like,
no one has ever called Ben Simmons a number one offensive option, which Giannis is. So I disagree with that.
I'm just saying people do not give him the fucking credit he deserves. That's what I'm saying. Is that as a player, they want him to be the finisher. They're like, why is Chris Middleton taking these shots? And it's like, this guy is.
Why is one of the best shooters in the league taking a shot? Yeah, it's
right. It's like he's a center. He's like, and by the way, we throw around the Shaq comparison a lot, but today he was fucking tall. Without Ayton in there, he was fucking making those guys look like toddlers. He was fucking, and it's like, and it just shows you need like one good defender is just not enough against him. Jay Crowder's a solid defender, right? Unless you have somebody to fucking. Like, Giannis will get past one guy. He just will. And so without help, without building that wall, without having a guy that half the time is just going to not be able to stop him, and without being able to funnel him to a rim protector, the guy's fucking unstoppable. And it was just so fucking nice to see him and to see how much. And by the way, fucking 13 for 17 from free throw line.
Yeah,
made his fucking free throws.
He'd be great if you just start saying in Greek, "I make them when they count."
Yeah,
but no, we was great. Look, I mean, I heard Draymond say on the show recently, I think it was LeBron's show, how much shit he gets for not shooting more, and he's like, "Why you always passing?" He's like, "Because I got Steph Curry on my team."
Yeah.
You know, it's
yeah.
It's kind of like he's like, I would be dumb if I didn't want him to get the shot, you know, and to some degree you can say that, like, Middleton's not Steph, but like if you can get Middleton good looks, you know, and Giannis is great at driving and dishing because he commands a double team. So get him a fucking look.
And that's what I liked about his game too. It's like in the first half when Ayton was still in there and like whatever, the lane wasn't as open. He had five. He picked up most of his assists in the first half. He had like 5 assists in the first half, I believe. He ended up with 6. And then in the second half, when it's like motherfuckers in foul trouble, there's nobody to protect the rim. Fuck it. I'm not passing. I'm going to the fucking cup every time. And there was a period in the third quarter.
With Ayton out, he has to.
You have to. But that's, oh my God. There was one play where Jeff Teague tried to force the ball into fucking Bobby Portis. Meanwhile, there is no center on the court. It's Frank Kaminsky, and Giannis has Cam Johnson on a fucking mismatch. And instead of swinging the ball, they acted like Bobby Portis was Kevin Durant, and it was like the final shot. He had to get him the ball. And not only that, but not only does he not get it in, Torrey Craig denies the ball completely. And
that was an amazing play by Torrey Craig.
And then Portis fouls him. They're in the penalty. So Jeff Teague's fucking genius point guard abilities. Not only did we not get Giannis on a mismatch with no rim protector, but it somehow turns into Torrey Craig shooting 2 fucking free throws. And that's the thing. It's like, I know Budenholzer and fucking Teague go back from Atlanta. I get that. But come the fuck on.
But that also, you just brought up a great play, because that play by Torrey Craig was such a just hard-nosed defensive play. I know he missed both free throws, but such a hard-nosed defensive play where I was like, you gave this dude up for cash?
Don't get me fucking started. Especially with DiVincenzo out, Craig would be playing a lot because
he's good. I like him.
He would be playing a lot.
But every time I saw Teague do anything, I thought of you. I mean, he had one teardrop that I was like, it was like a big, I'm like, why are you? This is like a crucial moment here.
It's fucking insane, because the thing is, either play PJ Tucker or play fucking Bryn Forbes. There is no reason to be putting Jeff Teague out there when you have Bryn Forbes. It's like you either go defense or offense, and Teague is like, what is he? Is he really that much better than Bryn Forbes on defense? No. And he's not and Bryn Forbes at least is a fucking, we talk about how I made the point earlier, how the Bucks don't actually have that many great shooters, and then Forbes actually is one. So if what you want to do is get a little more offense on the fucking floor, don't go with fucking Jeff Teague. I mean, and look, I know he was +9 because it was a fucking blowout, but it's like.
But here's to go back to what we were talking about, Giannis getting critiqued in the moment and not wanting the moment. Like, the criticism, I think, at the time was somewhat warranted. I mean, he's getting criticized because he's gotten 2 MVPs and he's considered one of the best in the world. So when it's crunch time, like, yeah, you're going to be compared to KD now. That's earned. I mean, you're going to be it's like, yeah, clearly you'd rather have KD in the fourth quarter. Like, there's not even an argument. Giannis is an incredible player, but no one, don't even get me started on fucking USA Nigeria too. But
I was going to say that till after, we finished the game.
That's I think the complaint is, and we've talked about Giannis. His mid-range game is not really there. The 3-point shot, like, you're never happy when you see him.
Yeah, and even this
if
game,
it goes in,
even in this game, I was like, "Come on, dude, why?" I know you're feeling yourself, but don't.
So that's my only complaint. Is like, you know, the guy's an incredible player. Sometimes in the fourth quarter, he forces shots that just aren't there. I think that's the critique. That's fair. He's still young. He still doesn't have the jump shot that we want to see him have. But it's kind of like, he's never going to be a great shooter. You just want him to have a decent enough jump shot that it be like, imagine Giannis with like a solid mid range.
Yeah, I mean, he is unstoppable.
Exactly.
There's
That's
no,
all
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
you can't like, even extending his range out that much would completely fuck a defense up.
Just the way Kawhi Leonard can kill you from mid range. Like, people knock the mid range jumper, but that's Kobe. That's fucking Paul George. That's Kawhi Leonard. Like, that's an important fourth quarter shot.
I mean, I think he just even needs. He's so big, his fucking arms are so long. He just needs a fucking floater, even, and he did it a little bit.
Yeah.
He showed like signs of it in the last series, and even in game. I
like,
think
why
he
not
did-
a Wilt Chamberlain type floater? You know, that little like weird like underhand like hook he would do.
Yeah, you just need something to make them come out on you a little more, because
Yeah.
you just don't want people, because you don't want them. I mean, honestly, like what Trae Young does at the rim, where he's like, people just don't know whether to contest or like, fall back for the lob or whatever. I mean, Giannis is never going to be a passing threat like that, but you just need, if he can get a defender even a little out of position, that motherfucker, Giannis is fucking dunking. And
Yeah.
it was just very nice to see it. It was just beautiful. Let me see if I have any other fucking notes that I took from the game. Yeah, Brook Lopez took a 3 when Kaminsky was on the floor. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Anytime Frank Kaminsky's on the floor, you have to score at the fucking rim. And yeah. Oh, I also said that I made a note of like, yeah, they just benched Booker because, the game seemed kind of out of hand, and it was like
At that point, I was like, why are you not benching Paul too? Like, why are you making Paul?
well,
play
that's what it
2
was.
minutes?
It honestly looks like they're just trying to make sure Chris Paul is their MVP. You know what I mean? No matter what happens.
Right.
But yeah, it looked like Monty was juicing a
Yeah,
little
it's hard
bit.
to pull Chris Paul out of the finals. You remember that clip? Fuck, they found like an old clip of Chris Paul on the Pelicans yelling at Byron Scott, and he's like, just let me finish, just put me in. And Byron
didn't see
Scott's
that.
just like ignoring him, and you're like, oh yeah, this is why Byron Scott was like one of the all-time worst coaches.
Yeah.
Just
He was
like,
brutal.
this is your best player who passively wants to play, and he's not even like, yeah, maybe. He's just smiling, ignoring him.
I loved when the Lakers brought him back for Kobe's last year. I was like, hey man, here's your friend from the team where you were a rookie. Like, he was like, we're not shooting threes. It was so funny. Him coming back was so wild.
He
but,
made 2 finals too with the Jason Kidd Nets teams.
yeah.
And he obviously won finals when he played.
Yeah, when he
but
played.
I hated him because he was on Indiana too. I mean, I disliked him for many years, going from Indiana and then to being the Nets coach. I hated those Nets teams
Of course.
as well.
And one final note before we just move on to like just general NBA news and stuff like that is that, what was really important here was that the Bucks closed out quarter strong, the second and the third quarter. In the past, not in the past, but this playoffs, the Suns have been really good at that. And the first 2 games, they were really good at that. And in this case, at sort of like a little past the midway point of the second quarter, they were only up by 4 points, or maybe even less. Maybe it was like 2 or 3. And then they go on a big run and end the third quarter up by 15. The Suns chip away at that Cam Johnson run that I was telling you about, where he's like fucking making those threes and shit and all that stuff. The Suns get it to fucking 4 points, like a little after the midway point of the third quarter, and then the Bucks just fucking ended on like a fucking, I don't know what it was, 10 or 16-0 run. They were incredible. It was just so fucking good to see.
Once Connaughton hit that corner 3, I was like, all right, it's a fucking wrap.
Yeah, it was fucking gorgeous to watch. But so anyway, big win there for the Bucks. Big, huge outing for Giannis. Well on his way to being Finals MVP. They're gonna get this next one, folks. They're gonna get one in Phoenix. Bucks in 7, as I called it all along. I think it's gonna go chalk until Game 7, where the Hard Dick Savages come out to play, and that's what's gonna happen.
What I said before, I think the Suns are going to win in 6, but it feels good to see you happy, Stav, and I'm happy for you.
Well, fuck you. If they're gonna win it in 6, how's that?
Fuck
you
me.
can't
How
say
about this, Stav? I got one for you too. Suck my dick.
What the hell are you fucking?
Yeah, dude.
So you're happy for me, but but you're predicting further unhappiness in the fucking future, is what you're saying. So what I say to that little fucking hollow gesture of you're happy is I say lick my fucking nuts from the back to the front. How about that?
How about this? I'm not going to do that, and instead, I'm going to lick Chris Paul from the back to the front for his Finals MVP. How do you like that?
I hope you do. I hope you lick his fucking nuts, and right when you're at the back,
I offered it.
He farts a little bit, and you get and you get pink eye from Chris Paul's asshole.
It's a good story. I got the Finals MVP to give me pink eye. It's not. You know what? It'll suck for like 2 weeks, but after that, I'm like, Chris Paul gave me pink eye, and people ask how, and I'm like, we don't have to get into detail. I'm just telling you, Chris Paul. I know him. So.
Anyway, what else is going on? You mentioned it a little bit hilariously.
I didn't find it funny.
I found it funny. Like I said, I don't cheer for for Team USA. They can suck my dick and balls.
Really? You don't cheer for fucking
No, we went through this. I don't cheer for the evil empire, all right? I don't cheer for fucking modern day colonialism, Sam. Thank you very much. All right, there's a couple 100,000 dead Iraqis that wouldn't want me to cheer for Team USA. How about that, pal?
Don't bring that shit into fucking basketball, you piece of shit. Fuck you.
And I'm happy Nigeria beat them. That's what I have to say about that. So fucking funny. Team USA gained one of the biggest upsets. It was an exhibition, but still does not bode well for fucking Team USA.
I only root for countries with stability. I want Team Haiti to win it all this year.
Oh, I'm rooting for Team Haiti. You better believe it. I haven't decided who my team I'll be rooting for in the Olympics is because Greece did not make it as both.
You're not going to root for Team USA once you're watching the games?
Maybe because I like the guys, but
yeah, dude, it's fucking Dame and KD and Devin Booker. It's gonna be a fun squad. Draymond, you love Draymond.
Yeah, he's all right. I have nothing against Draymond.
Bam is gonna be a fun big on that team. Come on.
Maybe I'll be rooting for Australia for Matthew Dellavedova.
You're garbage.
Maybe I'll be rooting for the home team, the Japanese with Rui Hachimura. I can't believe Greece didn't make it. I'm fucking pissed off.
I'm glad they didn't make it. Just
you know,
to fucking root for the USA.
I will not be, dude. The USA. I'll just probably root for Luka. How about that?
You rooting for fucking Slovenia?
Slovenia, dude? Hell yeah. Why not, dude?
You and Melania, man. You and Melania.
Wow, what a really good motherfucking point, Sam. Anyway, that made me remember something. To smoke cushy dreams.
I love cushy dreams, man. That's another good point by me.
That's not only is the thing you said about basketball a good point that I was referencing, but the fact that you love cushy dreams, that's a very good point, Sam. Because our friends over at cushydreams.com have some of the highest quality CBD you've ever fucking put in your little fucking slutty little lungs. All right? We know those lungs are usually slurping up, get a little bit of fucking dander and pollen and whatever, bee cum and all that kind of stuff. But when they're smoking cushy dreams, that's when they really feel alive. I love to smoke cushy dreams because it gets me fucked up, but not as fucked up as other types of more fucked up drugs. This is sort of like marijuana without the psychoactive elements. So you get a nice little body buzz. You're feeling good. You're fucking feeling relaxed, especially because, you know, me and you, Sammy, we like to smoke the relax, the peace, the dream, the strains that kind of get you to wind down. But if you're a fucking if you want to be a hyper motherfucker, they got other stuff too. I
do sometimes? I roll up a fatty of dream, and I think about what Luka Vildoza will do starting point guard of the Knicks next year, brother.
Oh, we're starting Vildoza, huh? I love that. Why not?
Bring quickly off the bench. He's a killer.
That's right. That's the kind of shit you can think of. Do you guys want... you heard the man. Do you want to buy the kind of... By the way, do you want to go to a website, order the kind of fucking stuff to smoke that makes you start thinking about Argentinian point guards no one's ever seen play in the NBA and say shit like, let's start him? This is some good shit, folks, okay? This will make you fucking as stupid as Sam Morril, That's what we can prove. Your brain will be all goofy, as goofy as Sammy.
How about
when
it's
you
fucking
smoke Cushy
loyal?
Dreams.
How about it makes you loyal, dude? I got a better word for what I bring to the podcast.
Loyal, stupid, in the eye of the beholder. Either way, if you smoke Cushy Dreams, you'll have a brain as gushy as Sam's. So go over to fucking our friends at cushydreams.com. Go to their website. That's KUSHYDreams.com. Use promo code PODDON'T. That's PODDONT. For 20% off your next order. And you can get anything. They got little fucking half-gram joints. They got whole gram joints. They got tins, 3.5-gram tins. If you want to put your shit in a little, you want to roll a little splifferino, you want to smoke it in a pipe, whatever you want to do, they got it for you. Mailed straight to your home with a note that says, "Please, Mr. Policeman, if you open this, we swear it's not real weed." So any way you slice it, it's a fucking bargain, and you get 20% off.
It also comes with a little bomb that blows up in a cop's face. It can
That's right.
censor it.
It
So
can
if it's
censor-
your face, it won't do it. But if they're wearing blue, dude,
Blue
They get
lives
paint
don't
all
matter
over
to
their
Cushy
face.
Dreams. That's officially, that's their official stance. ACAB. Go over to cushydreams.com. Use our promo code PODDON'T, and you will get 20% off. And enjoy that. Smoke your Cushy Dreams. Smoke your CBD because you can. Now, what was I talking about? Nigeria, who is in the Olympics, they just beat America. I'm sure you guys have seen that, and pretty fucking embarrassing, man. Honestly,
they did shoot like Steph Curry as a team for some reason.
Yeah, they shot really well. I'm trying to see.
Still should not have lost.
No, they were. It's like here's the and they have. Don't get me wrong, they have fucking NBA players on there. They have Precious, but it's like they're not like the best NBA players. They have Precious Achua, obviously, Josh Okogie, Jordan Nwora, who is still playing for my beautiful fucking Bucks, Chuma Okeke.
They shouldn't have won.
Oh shit, Ja Okafor plays for them. I didn't even realize that. That's fun. That's cute. They shouldn't have won, but they did, pal. It's kind of like the Vietnam War.
Yeah, well,
You know
it's
what
an
I mean?
exhibition game, dude.
Kind of
How
like
about
Vietnam.
that? Stop comparing it to Vietnam.
Maybe I'll root for Argentina.
How about Kevin
team.
Durant? Did you see Kevin Durant get stuffed on that dunk?
Yeah, Precious stuffed him.
Brutal.
And I got to say, as somebody whose team has beat America in basketball, by the way, nothing feels sweeter. We beat America in the Worlds. That was fucking awesome. Beat LeBron. Literally a very good team. Greece beat LeBron. Greece beat America, and it feels great. And I'll be thinking I'll have that win forever. Now, because both of the Tecumbo brothers are out, they could not qualify for the Olympics, which is bullshit.
I don't know if I like the pick of Jeremy Grant. I don't know if I love this team. Like some of the guys, like they're good players, but I want more Draymond types. I want more like guys who will body up the other teams. Because we have a lot of me first kind of offensive players, as great as Dame and Beal and Durant and Tatum all are. Like we need some guys who we need like a Marcus Smart on this team, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of inclusions that are just sort of like, well, we have this wrapped up, and they're not as bad. With the team that didn't they just finish 7th? Right before,
you know what it is? It's like when you make like a rom-com and there's like 8 hot people in it, and you're like, you need some comic relief.
Right.
You get us one funny fat guy.
Yeah.
Draymond is the one funny fat guy.
Right.
We need another.
You need a little more. You need something
I love
else.
Kevin Love, but he's not that
Yeah,
dude
Kevin
anymore.
Love's inclusion is fucking wild, and this is honestly kind of a weird little thing for Popovich's legacy, because that last team was fucking horrible. They sucked dick. The Celtics with Donovan Mitchell, it was basically who that last team was.
Right.
And fucking one of the Plumlees was playing center before Bam.
If we lose and we have Kevin Durant, and I mean, we have a lot of star players. I mean, Bradley Beal playing is a big deal. That guy's a murderer, you know?
Yeah.
He shot like absolute shit this game.
Yeah. I mean, look, ultimately it's a fucking exhibition, and who really cares? But
Popovich claims it's good. He's like, we haven't been playing together long. This loss might light a fire under them. Blah blah blah.
But that's what I mean. It's a tough look for Popovich for if they don't. I mean, if they don't win the gold, that's a fucking humongous embarrassment.
That's the problem with Team USA is like when you start with the dream team and other countries just suck ass, you never expect to lose ever again.
Yeah.
Problem is other countries have gotten good and we've gotten way worse. Like we used to play our best. Like, can you imagine if we were like, oh, we're also bringing LeBron, AD, like Steph Curry's going to play, healthy Klay Thompson. Can you imagine if we just played our best? James Harden.
Yeah. No, I know.
Kyrie Irving.
It would be crazy, but there's no fucking reason for those. I mean, I don't think KD should be playing. I honestly don't think America should play like that. The best of the best should go over there. I think it should be like a coherent team of younger guys that like practice more together and shit like that. But
problem is these people play together since they're like 14 who are going up
Yeah,
against.
that's true. Those teams have been forged forever.
So it doesn't matter how talented we are. It's kind of like you also just like, I hate to say it. This is as Bradley Beal's a great shooter. Dame's a great shooter. We need like a pure shooter on there though too. We need like a guy who's just
okay. Now you're fucking sounding ridiculous. Bradley Beal, Dame Lillard, Kevin Durant.
Okay, and how do
even Kevin Love?
How did they shoot? Why don't you look at the box score?
What do you mean? Oh, against fucking Nigeria? You're going to tell me because of one game against Nigeria, the three guys I just mentioned aren't pure shooters?
What if we had Klay Thompson or Steph healthy on that team?
Shut the fuck up. This is why people hate America, dude. This is exactly it. You have it all.
Don't fucking make this about America.
You have it all,
you.
and you want more. You fucking greedy capitalist
The American
pig.
dream, brother. It's not the American dream, but I thought I would just try to make this sound patriotic.
Oh, that land that we told those Native Americans to settle on. Oh, we found some gold underneath it. Pack your stuff up, boys. You're going to Oklahoma. This is for us until we find oil under there, and you'll be in some even shittier part of Oklahoma.
We gave them, these are special Team USA blankets, and
yeah, you're giving to Argentina smallpox blankets. Go ahead, Luis Scola. You're getting old. I'm sure you're getting chilly. Why don't you just cuddle up under this beautiful warm
Luis
blanket?
Scola, remember him? That was a fun Rockets.
He's playing.
No, but I mean that was a fun Rockets team back in the day with Yao, Scola, T-Mac, Rafer Alston, Shane Battier. That was a dope team.
Yeah. But yeah, Scola's got the gray hair and he's playing. It's fucking awesome.
Scola's he's a nifty throwback offensive power forward. I kind of dig it.
Yeah. I wonder if we recognize anybody else on Argentina. Campazzo.
Are you going to
obviously.
root for Argentina, you fucking traitor?
I don't fucking care, dude. Fuck America.
You're a fucking traitor.
America can suck my dick. Luca Vildoza, the Knicks new point guard, he's playing for Argentina.
That's my main man. That kid's going to be special.
Maybe I'll be fucking rooting for Argentina.
You know what? I have all this talk about Lonzo Ball. We don't need him. We got Vildoza, dude.
That's right, bro.
What if that dude is? That dude looks nasty, though. Have you seen him?
I've seen the same,
highlight reel that I sent
highlight that you have. Yeah, exactly.
But dude, if he's like a kind of clever player, can shoot. Maybe that's exactly what Barrett needs. Maybe he's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, my friend.
I hope this is a good team. My one fear is like, man, I wish we had a little more toughness. I know we got Draymond and Bam together should work.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, look.
I just wish we had another guy that was like just kind of like a bruiser off the bench, like the way like a throwback Shane Battier was. A guy just meant like you gotta love a dude like that on like a. You need dudes like that.
Well, you don't think so? Basically, it's who are they starting? They're starting Jason Tatum, Lillard,
Beal, Durant, and Bam.
Yeah,
it's great. My only look offensively, that's absurd. My only issue is like. Who's playing like D on that?
Yeah, no one.
I mean, like Tatum is like fine. Durant is good when he cares. Bam is a very good defender. Beal and Lillard don't play D.
Yeah, No, that's true.
Like
But
that could be an issue. Just
oh wow, Matisse Thybulle's playing with Australia. That's interesting. I thought he was French. Huh.
yeah, me
Very
too.
interesting.
Interesting.
Dude, Australia's they got Patty Mills, Joe Ingles, fucking Thybulle.
Bogut,
Bogut's too old. He's out. But they have
Scola.
Aaron Baines,
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
Matthew Dellavedova, Dante Exum. Okay, it's
See,
starting to
here's
drop
the
off.
problem. We're all offense. They're all defense.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean,
Baines and Dellavedova. Do you know how annoying those dudes are?
it's gonna be annoying to play against them for sure. But anyway, so that's a fucking national embarrassment. At least the under-19 team won Worlds with that weird. Have you been paying attention to like the young guys? That guy Chet Holmgren or whatever is like this big stretched out guy for Team USA, and then France has a guy.
Oh, that 7-2 guy.
That 7-2 guy that like you know
Who lit up Gobert on that one play and it went
yeah
viral.
yeah
and
yeah
then,
who played like
dude, he's
one-on-one.
kind of got Porzingis vibes, I think. So it's kind of like, is he gonna be like because there's gonna eventually be a dude who's 7-2 who kind of has Durant-ish ability.
Who's Durantish, but maybe even a little stronger. You'd think.
Right, but the problem is Porzingis is just he doesn't have the balance and he's not strong enough.
Yeah.
And
No,
the injuries. I mean, it's very hard to stay healthy at that size.
I think
you know?
these two kids are kind of in that, are kind of in that fucking mold. And he's going to Gonzaga, so.
But if you could just stay healthy.
Chet Holmgren.
I mean, even Porzingis, if he just stayed healthy and was a more willing defender, like that dude, I remember Porzingis was a legitimate rim protector for the Knicks. And then it's just it's not as good in Dallas, but
yeah,
he's
Victor.
just not a max player.
Victor Wembanyama is the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
both
sick.
these guys they look awesome, but they're so fucking skinny. These kids, but
Well, they're kids. I mean, that's Can they put on muscle? I mean, you remember the one season Porzingis looked like he was turning into Drago, and we were like getting all fired up.
Oh hell yeah, when he was
And then it was just like a workout video. It wasn't like
Yeah. Oh, it's workout video season, dude. I'm ready to fucking. People are posting fucking, Mitchell Robinson shooting threes. It's like, yeah, they're gonna turn it around.
Oh, dude, he's up to 275. Don't think I'm not following Mitchell on IG.
You're looking at his gains.
You best believe I follow Ennis Cantor, and I love those workout videos. That dude's got
hell
abs.
Yeah. Where does he rank in the guys you want to suck off power rankings?
I just want to save him, dude.
Yeah.
He just deserves it. He just
So you're
rules.
more friends.
Yeah, I
friends.
just, look, I mean, these are all
You might throw him some
metaphorical.
pity head.
These are all
that's
no,
it.
not pity. He's a fucking badass.
Okay, so you would suck him off, but you're like, but I want to remain friends.
Yeah.
This is a platonic blowjob I'm giving you right now.
I think once you leave the Knicks, you drop a few points for sure.
Sure.
But once you're a Knick for life. So there is that as well.
So it's a complicated philosophical
It's complicated,
quandary.
but I will say this, man. You talking about those workout videos, Mitchell Robinson, that dude's like we don't know what it's gonna be, but we know it could be something special. So that's what Knicks fans do. We cling to potential. We cling to the idea of what could be or what could have been.
Yeah, and I think they got to sign Mitch. I mean, I think you just have to see what it's going to be.
Maybe we get him on a discount because of the injuries. He hasn't proven he's stayed healthy. I mean, I don't know what he's expecting.
I don't think it'll be that big of a discount, honestly. I don't know. I think he wants to get paid.
What's realistic on both sides to pay Mitchell Robinson for, say, a 4-year deal?
Damn, that's a hard one because you want to. The position is like not. Is center really that big? Is it that?
You ain't winning
that
if
important?
if your main guy's a center,
right?
Unless it's fucking Jokic or I don't know, but maybe AD. But even AD is the second guy with LeBron, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you like? What?
And
like?
AD can't stay healthy. A lot of bigs can't stay healthy. I mean, look at Embiid. Look at.
I don't know. Like like what? I don't know what he wants to get. You know
Paying
what I
Gobert
mean?
what they paid him ensures that the Jazz will never win a championship.
What about? I mean, I don't know. What about like 10 million a year?
That's not he wants way more than that. There's no way that we're getting away with
You
it.
would pay him 15 million bucks?
I'm not saying I would, but I'm saying that's what he's going to expect. You don't think he's going to want 4 years, 60?
Uh,
I don't want that. I think 12 is fair. 12.5, meet him in the middle. I mean, he could become a beast.
yeah. I don't know. He's also like, if it wasn't for all the injury concerns, maybe he would have a better, he would have a better.
What if
I don't
all
know.
the
I'd have
injury
to look.
concerns, he'd have a case where he's like, I could be defensive player of the year someday.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although this is the first year he ever really started, and he didn't make it through the year. Like he played a lot. He would foul the fuck out of almost every game basically before this, and he would be like a guy who showed flashes, but who could never be relied on for a full game. So
Well, that's the problem because you know that also, I hate to say this, but in the playoffs, his strength is a concern. The way Nerlens, I know he was injured, but the way he got bullied a little bit by Capella, just in terms of size, that worries me with Mitchell. However,
Mitch is bigger though.
Mitch
He's
is big, but you know what else? Mitch is so athletic and so long. He reminds me a little bit of young Marcus Camby.
Mhm.
The way Camby would just fucking light it up for the Knicks. Just get every loose ball because of his length. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I'd like to see a full. It's a shame we didn't see a full a full healthy season from Mitch. We still haven't seen that from him as a starter.
You're
I mean,
asking me to invest all my money in like a chicken company, and I had like 4 bites and they were great, but then it gave me salmonella. So I'm kind of like, how much money do I put in this company? Like, we know it can
They're
go
like, we
great.
fixed the salmonella issue. Just think about the 4 bites. And it's like, you're right. Ideally, you could just sign him on this deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that and he gets to be a completely free agent next year, he's not coming back. I think because he's like, well, okay, enjoy the year you got me at $2 million, but I'm playing somewhere else.
Well, it's kind of like when a comedy club that's great underpays you, and you're like, I'll take the weekend because I like the club, but I ain't coming back.
Right. Not at this money anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, true. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. We'll have to look into all this stuff. I mean, it's going to be fun. Free agency is coming up. We're
I
gonna
hope
be.
Vildose is a beast. I forgot about that. No, dude, he looks special, man. Remember, Kobe said that guy has the goods. So
Yeah.
and don't mock me for this shit. I have little to cling to, and
Why don't we bring up how much fucking Julius learned from Kobe again one more time? Why don't we talk about him shooting?
How much have I enabled your fucking mental illness? How much have I
enabled anything? I'm a fucking man of science and data. We've been through this. Call me Stavros Fauci because the fucking Bucks are gonna win this shit. Okay, pal. All right.
Did we win COVID? I feel like we had a lot
you're
of
right.
casualties.
I'm actually not Fauci. I take that back. But I'm certainly not fucking Cuomo. None of although I would like to.
Cuomo's looking better than Fauci these days. He's a survivor.
Although if it was up to me, I would put Mike Budenholzer in one of those fucking nursing homes. If you catch my drift. I would fucking send that motherfucker to a Cuomo COVID nursing home in a jiffy. Anyway, one last story I wanted to bring up before we go, and another Pod Don't Lie After Dark. We're spoiling you little fuck pigs with these fucking instant reactions, but we know you like it fresh. We know you like this fucking slop fresh.
I don't even know what story you're about to say.
No, this is not. I was saying in general we're spoiling them, but this is just something I wanted to bring up because it was a piece of news that broke today, and it was that the Orlando Magic hired a new coach. And
I saw that.
Normally it's not a huge deal, right? It's Jamal. Fuck, what the fuck is his name? I should have looked this up while we were talking.
Yeah.
Instead of looking up fucking Mitchell Robinson, I should have been looking at the story I wanted to bring up. But the new Magic head coach is Jamal Mosley.
And there was a rumor that it was going to be Penny, and as a Penny fan, I was kind of hyped for that. But like, what are you going to do?
That kind of shit never works, and good for Penny for going back. I think he's building something really cool at Memphis. And by the way, Larry Brown is joining his staff. How fucking cool is that? Larry Brown at
Crazy.
80 years old is going to be one of his assistant
Is
coaches.
he really 80?
He's 80, bro. He's 80.
Wow.
That motherfucker was coaching in a leisure suit in the fucking ABA. Like, he's
with
old.
with the fucking Phil Spector hairdo.
Yeah, he had a couple different hairdos. He had the swoop over. He was looking fucking cute. But he's old as fuck. But so the reason the Jamal Mosley thing is big news is because people around the league seem to love him, although we know from Fizdale that's not necessarily mean anything. If players like an assistant coach, it might just mean he's a fucking good guy to have on a staff, not necessarily a good head coach.
For sure.
But what is interesting is that this is the guy that before the Jason Kidd rumors seemed inevitable, this is the guy that people thought would make sense
Dallas?
in Dallas as the guy to just be get promoted.
It is more interesting to see someone qualified than just another name. You know, Kidd has fucked up twice before, but
Absolutely.
players just like him. You know, it's one of those things where players just, I guess maybe he's, who knows? I
they
think,
like
as
him
you
because
said, I think
it's a superstar name. It's a brand name
flashy.
thing. It's flashy. I mean, but the thing with this, Mosley would have been interesting in Dallas because Luka, he's the guy who had that great relationship with Luka, and you know, I think this is just another thing. First of all, not to hire Luka's guy and to bring in Jason Kidd is a mistake, I think, not just because he's a shitty basketball coach, but it's like, you know, when you're the fucking Mavericks, first of all, I think any team should have a real, like, thoughtful look at whether they want to hire Jason Kidd with his domestic abuse, like, past, and it's like how you want to handle that, especially a team that had a fucking sexual harassment scandal in the Mavericks. But you know, even without
no
that,
one's gonna even know about that story in Dallas. They're gonna be like, "What?"
Yeah. Well, even without that, he's just a bad coach, and it's like, okay, maybe Luka's not pissed off because the name carries some weight the first year, but the second year, if fucking Jason Kidd, which I don't believe he's gonna turn into some great coach in 1 year or whatever, if Jason Kidd isn't a fucking good coach this year, and they let go of the guy that seemed to be Luka's favorite, and he's a guy who everyone says is a great like player development, which I think is a great hire for the Magic because this is a developmental job, right?
Well, the Magic it's a tough job ahead too. I mean, Mo Bamba has not really turned out what they hoped he would. They lost Vucevic, Isaac, and Markelle Fultz coming off year-long
tough
recoveries.
injuries.
They've got a cool youth, but they also it's like.
But are any of them gonna hit necessarily? Like you might maybe
Cole
one
Anthony's
or two.
kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, he's all right, but it's like him and Markelle. You'd think are sort of redundant. They're neither of them are shooters, and they both kind of they're score first non-shooters.
Markelle, I use the word shoot loosely for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a very strange. It's a strangely put. They had to get rid of Vucevic at some point just because, like, they're. I
think that was a great trade for them. I think what they got back was a good return for both him
they've got
and
Wendell Carter as well. So we'll see. Maybe they turn them into something.
So
I don't love their nucleus though.
No, their roster sucks dick. But I think it's still an interesting job for this guy to take, and it's also nice to see like another black coach in a league that's mostly black players.
Right.
The management and the coaching should reflect, you know, it should be a similar breakdown. I'm not saying it has to be exactly the same, but it should be, you know, much more balanced than it is now. So that's nice to see, but I just think this is this is just another like little fucking another little domino in the like I'm starting to feel a little bit of a Dallas Mavericks like fucked up collapse happening. Like,
I could not
like
agree more. I know Luka's going to take that supermax, but I
think it could be a couple tough years.
I don't think he should take it.
I think he should because you don't turn down $250 million. You don't turn down $250 million as a fucking 22-year-old. I think that's part of it. You just can't do that. But you know,
is he gonna want out of there at some point?
Maybe, but fuck it. Ask for a fucking trade. You don't turn down that kind of money.
You think they traded a lot for James Harden? What is the Luka package going to look like?
Insanity. I can't even imagine. But Dallas will have a chance to turn it around. But I think these are going to be some tough years, man. We talked about it before.
I
They
don't
are
like. I don't like what they're doing. The way
they're
I like
running.
what the Hawks did for Trey. I don't like what Dallas did for Luca.
Yeah, yeah. The GM position is weird, and it's like they just hired a Nike exec who people say is well respected within the league and has connections, and we've seen former agents become. At one point, that was deemed weird, and we've seen that become Bob Myers
Leon
used to be
Rose,
like that.
motherfucker.
Leon Rose,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and who the motherfucker in L.A. Palinka, which you could say his moves have been hit or miss, whatever. But
Got a meringue though, so gotta give him
I
that.
just think the Mavs. I've said it before. I think we talked about it like 3 or 4 episodes ago. They're starting to run their shit real fucking like you just have
In-house.
too many like old Mavs guys in the mix. That's just not how you run a good fucking organization.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think it makes a lot of
and
sense. but-
losing this guy, first of all, not making him the head coach, but also just now he's not even on your staff. That's just another fucking. I just don't. That
Well,
I
also
had
losing. I know that Carlisle and Luca butt heads, but Carlisle's a very good coach.
much better coach than Jason Kidd, that's for sure. So anyway, just wanted to highlight that and just say we're getting a little nervous about that the trajectory Dallas is on. Good news for Trae Young for sure, because the shittier they're poised to have a nice couple years, and the Mavs I think are poised to have some fucking shit years. So we'll see. Anyway, that's actually I guess we should read some reviews. I don't think we've done that in a while. Or maybe we did it last episode. I don't know. Fucking know. We've been doing these late ones. But I wonder, did anybody leave any fresh? We're close. We have 972 ratings. We'd love to get to 1,000. Let's read a couple fucking reviews here. This one is from wait. I think we've only got one fresh one, and this is from Isaiah Mark, who says, Pod, definitely don't lie. It's your boy, Isaiah. I just wanted to say that this show is literally the first podcast I look forward to every week. The dynamic of Stav and Sam are hilarious. Not only are they funny, they actually know what they're talking about. If you're not listening every week, you're a knucklehead. P.S. Dame ain't leaving Rip City. We'll see about that, my friend.
Dame is coming to the Knicks.
Dave's coming to the Knicks. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for listening. Leave us some fucking fresh reviews. We're close to 1,000.
And the Knicks will be fine just as long as we don't play Nigeria.
And thank you to the Hard Dick 1600 out there on Patreon. We're chugging along. And so sign up if you want to hear 1601. If you want to hear reactions to the net game 4, that'll be up on our Patreon Thursday, probably, depending on our schedules. But yeah, 2 episodes a week. One of them is paid, so fucking sign up if you want to be one of the Hard Dick 1601. Let's get to be the Hard Dick 1700. Let's do that. But thank you so much for listening, guys. That's gonna do it for us.